Good morning, good morning. How are you? One last sip of good coffee. Come on in the house and join me. I'm Diane, and we're live at Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina, coming to you for another edition of Coffee and Create. Well, I have the coffee, and I have some amazing products to create with. We have been featuring our Rethunk Junk fall color recipes. These recipes and a full kit so you can make your own have been available in a bundle all month long. Well, guess what? It's the end of August and we're gonna finish up really strong with a color I have been waiting to try, and we're gonna do it on a piece of furniture that you would be surprised you could actually paint and make it stick. Because see, Rethunk Junk paint products, well, they'll stick to just about anything, including a chair with a naugahyde back, wooden legs and arms, and listen, that scritchy little vinyl. I'll show you. Come on in, tell me that you are here if you've just joined. Good morning, good morning. So glad to have you. Got my little rolly chair and I've got my camera set up. This is naugahyde, not real leather. This was way back in the day. This is late 40s, early 50s. This is pleather. The original pleather, except it's made much better. This won't split apart. Nice wooden arms with just a little bit of routing work on the edge. Nice skinny arms. And look at that vinyl seat. I've sprayed it with prep on this side. I'm really tempted. Good morning, Lynette. I'm really tempted just to paint half of this chair, top to bottom, just for display, to show how you can take something this not so pretty and make it something amazingly beautiful. I don't know, Lynette, what do you think? A half and half chair? I don't think that would be such a bad idea. But you know, I have a hard time not painting the whole thing. So I am going to, I've already prepped the back and the very back. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this seat off while we ponder the mysteries of life. To paint half or not to paint half? I don't know. You know, I have a hard time finishing what I start sometimes, but I have a really hard time not finishing what I start. So I'm gonna get these legs too. I only prepped half of it, so I might better stick with that. One of the colors that I have not used, I'm gonna let the seat down so I don't fall out. One of the colors that I have not used yet is Raffia. And let me show it to you because you probably want to use this too. Look at that color. Isn't that a great fall harvest color? Look at that color, y'all. And it is created with Sahara and Bashful Blush, just equal parts of Sahara and Bashful Blush. And you can get, I'm gonna turn these all the way around so you can see a really light pretty pink and a really rich desert gold. But you mix these two together and you get Raffia. I mixed all mine in my mason jars because this time of the year around the Southland, everybody's putting stuff up for the winter. So this is a great, I thought it was a great display. You vote half? I think so too, Lynette. So since it's up to you and me, we're doing it. We're gonna do half this chair and we're gonna leave the other half. So you can come to Two Girls Treasure and you can check this out. I think it's a great idea. Let me put you on the single view When you get tired of I can always paint the other half. You know, you're always right, Lynette. You're always right. Let me take this off and get to solo view so you can see this chair straight up. I'm gonna grab my water bottle just so I can mist the ends of my paintbrushes, because I have a new paintbrush. Not that I give up on my Wooster, but that I wanted to try something. So today's a good day. I have my standard Wooster. I have my standard Miracle brush, and I have a Purdy. This is a Purdy 2-inch. It's angled just like my Wooster. It's thinner than my Wooster. Of course, I've used my Wooster, so you know my Wooster's not silky anymore because I've used this one well. But my Wooster still feels really good. My Wooster's stiffer than my brand new Purdy. So I don't know about this brush. I haven't used one. Have y'all used a Purdy brush? I don't know. We're gonna try it and we're gonna see what we can do with it. We're gonna see what the difference between using the two of them might be, but we are gonna spritz the bristles just so when we dip into the paint jar, we have a little bit of moisture there. I'm gonna move my phone over, so if you've popped in, say good morning. Linda, hello, thanks for being here. Donna, good morning. So if you're just coming in, Mel, glad to see you. We're gonna paint half a chair. This is gonna drive Mel insane when she gets here today. But it's okay, Mel. This unfinished project will be basically on purpose. It will be okay. I'm gonna pop my top without breaking a fingernail. There we go. Love it. Love, love, love this beautiful rich color. Let's get some of this on this chair. Let's start with the Purdy, and we're gonna do this Naugahyde. Now, this isn't fabric, so we don't have to use any fabric softener. And all the time people ask, can you paint upholstery? Well, sure you can. You see my t-shirt? This is our tie-dye. Rethunk junk paint is fantastic for almost any surface you could imagine, including upholstery, and that includes this 1940s, 1950s Naugahyde chair. Now I'm using the Purdy brush, and you know it's kind of smooth. It's really long bristled though. I think it's either longer than my Wooster or it's an optical illusion, but it feels like it's longer, and it feels a little bit awkward because it's so squishy. But what do you think? That's a great half a chair color, isn't it? I love the tone of this color. Now I'm gonna put more than one coat of paint on here. I'm doing the seams on the back, and I'm gonna make sure I don't leave any ridges on the back where the seams of the chair are, because that would be just wrong. I can remember my grandmother having chairs like this, and I swear if she was here, she'd be right here painting this chair with me. She would think this would be a great adventure. So for the naysayers, my nanny would paint this chair. She sure would. I'm gonna drop that in the water, and I'm gonna grab my Miracle brush. I wanna use my Miracle brush to do the arm, simply because this is where the Naugahyde meets the wood. It's got a little bit of architecture, and it's real thin. I like the way my Miracle brush splits the arm, and I don't have to worry so much about ridges and edges. I said that to my husband last night and he said, "What are you talking about?" Well, ridges and edges, because when you load your paintbrush and then you paint an edge, it's just physics. It pushes the paint out of the brush. Well, then you have to chase your ridges and your edges to make sure you don't have a big lump line. Nobody wants a lump line, right? So you have to be really careful not to create that lump line that paintbrushes can cause on your furniture. And I like my Miracle brush in my tight areas like this. Look at that color going on. Because it has a tendency not to leave those ridge lines. So make sure you get a Miracle brush in your toolkit, at least 1, 2 would be better. I think I have 5. I use them on everything. Now, on this, I'm gonna want a big brush, because if you see what's happening with my Miracle brush, it's not really covering a lot of area. My Miracle brush is great on the smalls, great on these legs. I know I'm gonna get Raffia on the black, and I think it's okay. But I'm gonna finish this leg, and I'm gonna do the inside edge. Here we go. Love it. Let's do, ooh, don't touch the paint. Don't touch the wet paint. I'm gonna do this arm right here before I go ahead and do the seat, and that way this will be done. I need those little wooden plugs to go right here to cover up those screw heads. I don't want to paint over the screws and glue them in. At some point someone's going to want to refurbish this chair, and they're going to go, "Wow, that was a beautiful color they put on this chair." Well, it's Raffia. It's Raffia, and it is a Rethunk Junk fall color recipe. Raffia, it's made from, let's see. Hi, good morning, Martha. Good morning, my dear. How are you? I'm going to paint this as well. Let's go ahead and knock all this wood stuff out and get it started with a good 1 coat. This chair is kind of wide at the base. I wanted it on my little rolly cart so I could spin it around for you. But it barely fits. And if I push on that too hard with my brush, that sucker's gonna hit the ground. You know what it's gonna hit first? It's gonna hit my britches, and then I'm gonna have paint all over me. You've never seen that happen to me before, have you? All right, those are, get this inside edge right here, and get this inside edge right here. I'll get the bottom side of it later gator. Here we go. Oh, I'm loving it though. The coverage is fantastic. Now, let's do this bottom section with our Worcester 2-inch. Let me scoot you back in, and let me dip it. I'm gonna not overload it, but I'm just gonna get a good cover on my brush. And I'm gonna tell you something. I love my Worcester. I love my Worcester brush. I think this is gonna be my winner. If I had to choose between 2, not only does this brush save me a little bit of extra money, but this brush, it feels better in my hand. Maybe it's because I'm used to it. I kind of feel like the Purdy brush would be good for a blend because it's so soft. I just had to try it. I've heard a lot about Purdy brushes, and I'm not dissing them, I'm really not. No disrespect intended whatsoever. You have to try different tools to know what you like and what works for you. I like this. It's giving me good coverage across a textured area, and I'm not having to load the brush up to get that. And I like that because I don't like an overloaded paintbrush either. One of the most beautiful things about Rethunk Junk Paint, we're going to draw our own center line, is that you don't have to use too much to get the job done. You really don't. Just enough. And people ask me all the time, is a pint enough to do a dresser? There's our train. Well, yes, it is. It is enough to do a dresser. And let's see, you could take a pint of paint. I'm right here at the back. I'll turn you around so you can see this part too. Love my little rolly carts. A pint of paint is enough to do a chest of drawers and a nightstand. It's enough to do a dresser. I think you would even have some left over. Now, everybody paints differently, so you might have a little bit heavier hand than someone else. I might have a heavier hand than someone else. So you really have to judge by yourself, your personal preference, how much coverage you really want and need, and how heavy-handed you are. But this paint goes a really long way. We'll blend that line in across the seat. So we have a, there we go, pretty steady line all the way down. I'm really liking the way this looks on this chair, y'all. Got a little bit more to do right here, so I'm gonna dip and paint. Can you see it okay? My phone's out of reach right this second. But look how easy it is to cover this vinyl material. And this chair's not terrible looking anymore. It's really not. Now we've got to do that back side. So I'm going to spin you around. Look at this. Look how beautiful this chair is getting. I know, I didn't measure and mark, I just painted. But wow, what a difference Raffia makes. What a difference. I love it. A pint was enough for you to do a dresser and a chest. Good morning, Joe. You know, I love the coverage of Rethunk Junk Paint. And Mel, I know you are lighter handed even than me. You have a very light touch when you paint. So that makes sense to me, but you also have amazing finishes. If you are not on the Creating with RTJ Paint Co. page, make sure you hop over there so you can see some of Mel's work. Melanie Chateau, she does beautiful work. And I'm so proud of what she does. I think it's amazing. This little bebop just popped in my store about a year ago. She had just moved from California and she was looking for some paint. She was looking for something. She took a class and she's been hooked on Rethunk Junk ever since. Y'all, that was the simplest, easiest, quickest project I think I've ever done on Coffee and Create. Of course, I could finish the whole chair, but I love it as an example of the difference just a little bit of paint can make. Lord, they're gonna be loud with that tractor. Can y'all hear them? Truth, that's right. You do awesome work, baby. All right, let's grab We'll grab my paper towel, peel a piece off, and let's go over that wood one more time. Back of your hand, check for dry with the back of your hand so you don't leave fingerprints or pull up any of the paint. All right. And I keep my paint brushes in my little plastic cup with water so that in between coats the paint doesn't dry in my bristles, because then it just makes a mess. So when I take it out, I just tamp it off. Good morning, Laura. How are you, sister? Just tamp the water off. Is that really loud, y'all? Can you hear that tractor going? That's just craziness. All right. Let's see. One more coat of paint on the woodwork, and we will be done early enough. We've got some housekeeping to do today. Housekeeping. It is going to be Labor Day weekend, y'all. And that means one amazing thing at the PD State Farmers Market. NASCAR's in town in Darlington for all you NASCAR fans. And we will host a car show this weekend here at the Farmers Market. So if you're local, come on out and see all the super cool old hot rods. And whether you're local or not local, make sure you join us Thursday evening for our Bring It To You Live sale. It is going to be fabulous. And Thursday night, 6 p to 7 p, we're going to have some fantastic collectibles, automotive collectibles to bring to you. You can just sit at home and watch the show and shop to your heart's content. Click the buy buttons when you're ready to buy, and we'll get it shipped out to you quick as a wink. Quick as a nod and wink. Look at this chair. What do you think? I love it. Love it. It has turned buttery, beautiful, not ugly anymore. And what a great sitting room chair this will make to sit and read a book, to watch the hummingbirds dance outside the window. If you had a footstool, this would be a great napping chair. I've had people ask before, once you paint it and you sit on it, is it gonna crack? No, it's really not. It's really not gonna crack. It's not gonna peel off if you allow proper cure time. Dry time and cure time are two different things. Don't forget, dry to the touch, not cured. Cure time, you don't want to let anybody sit in this chair for the next 2 to 3 weeks. 4 if you can help it. Because what you don't want is the time it needs to harden to be diminished. Give your paint all the time it needs to cure. Cure time and dry time, not the same thing. Dry to the touch, you can touch it, don't scratch it. Don't do the scratch test right after you paint something. That's not a test, that's self-destruction. When you first paint something, you really don't want to just scratch on it and go, well, it didn't work. Give it the cure time it deserves. And then if it doesn't work, come tell me. But don't scratch your paint off. That's not a good test of durability. All right, let me spin you back around to the back side. I'll pull it over. I'm dry on this side. I know there's wet paint, so I'm afraid to touch. But let's get this back side one more time. Laura Nanny would be here painting too, wouldn't she? Hey, good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Diane. Hey, Chris. Good to see you this morning too. We're painting a chair. We're painting a late 40s, early 50s Naugahyde back, wooden legs and arms, and vinyl seat. We're painting this chair because it's been well loved. It's in great condition. It really is. It just needed to be freshened up. And we're only painting half of it to show what an amazing finish you can get with Rethunk junk paint. This is Raffia. It is one of the fall color recipes that Laura created and shared with us. And it is made from equal parts of Sahara and Bashful Blush. Isn't that great? Now, it'll need some touch-up after it's dry. I'm not going to do touch-up right now because if I do, you know, I'm going to mess up the paint. And we don't want to do that. We just definitely don't want to do that. I like it. I think this chair is going to live a beautiful new life. And it'll be right here at Two Girls Treasure. You can come see the difference in the original side and the painted side with Raffia. Now, we have, I'm gonna scoot back over here and come on, right back up. Oh my mercy. There we go. Nope, not what I was looking for. Where'd we go? Well, for love's sake, I don't know how to use my own. There we go. We're back. I pushed the screen on a funny angle and it took me to a whole other world. We're going to start our classes back. We've had so many people ask about classes, and if you're interested, we have a host of new things to do. Yes, we are going to do some Rethunk junk tie-dye. We're going to do hoodies because it's fixing to be that time of the year. And we are also going to do the Christmas molds and the Christmas ornaments because it's almost that time of the year too. Don't forget the Fall Flower Show is coming up on September 30th, October 1st and 2nd, right here at the Farmers Market. It is a fabulous festival of fall foliage. Say that 10 times fast. But it is a great time. And then 2 weeks following, we will host the Family Harvest Festival. And that is a great playtime for all the children to come out to the market. We will host pumpkin painting on the front sidewalk right here at Two Girls Treasure. So you want to make sure you are here for that. Let me get to my comments. There we go. There we go. Jamie, good morning, hon. But you'll want to make sure to stay in touch with us both on our website as well as on our Facebook page. I worked diligently most of yesterday creating the classes, the times, the opportunities for you to play with product and have fun and make something special for the holidays for yourself or someone you love and want to share a creative project with. If you want to, you can book a private party. Bring your friends. Most of our classes are kid friendly, so if you want to book a birthday party here, well, let's do it. Get in touch with us and we'll talk about the dates and the times and the cost, and we'll make sure it's fun, affordable, and memorable and creative. Absolutely, because that's what we do here. We coffee and we create things. I'm going to let this chair dry, and I'm going to finish up some work that I have to do to get ready for the Labor Day weekend sale coming to you live Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on Facebook and YouTube. Also, we will host a Labor Day sale on Saturday during the car show, so don't miss out on any of the events this week right here at Two Girls Treasure. I'm Diane Pruitt, and I thank you so much for being with us today. I could draw this out, but you know what? You have things to do and I have things to paint. So go grab a cup of coffee and let's create some amazing things today. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it very much.